I just wanted to let you know I've been making bad art and I am learning to lean in and let go. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I've uploaded a video. Something I really love about YouTube is the visual journaling that takes place on here. And I don't want all my videos to be so premeditated and planned to a T. I just want to be able to like hop on sometimes and share my thoughts and ideas. For this video in particular though, I just wanted to give like a really brief recap of what I've been up to and things that I've been working on and creating and, life that has been lived. But thank you so much for joining. Just to, quickly get into the video. I have gathered so much footage over the last few months attempting to make a video. There was an attempt to make multiple videos, but a lot of the art that I created over the last few months was just bad. There's no other way to put it than just, it was bad. I don't want to put it out there. It's a part of the process. I definitely am aware of that, but it was so frequent that I was like, when they say like, it's not a bad life, it's a bad day. There were so many bad days that it eventually started to feel like a bad life. That's how many pieces that I created that were just awful. But I think it stemmed from the fact that I was doing a lot of experimentation and I was changing a lot of factors at once. I was changing the way that I mix colors. I was changing style. I was changing method and just really experimenting. And I think when you change all those moving parts at once, things are bound to go wrong. And they went wrong. They did. Here I was attempting to paint 4 different portraits at once. It was inspired by a technique that I discovered through an artist named Steve Keene. He paints like 20, 40, 50 canvases at once, and I thought it'd be interesting to see how that technique translated to my more detailed portraits. So as you can imagine, it was difficult and I did end up giving up. Just the level of detail I was trying to reach just wasn't compatible with the speed that I had to paint. So if I ever tried this again, I would definitely be less detailed in my approach for sure. But this is really all the footage I got of the paintings before I gave up. That's not to say that I didn't learn from those mistakes and learn from those bad pieces, but I did try to record a lot of these pieces and they fell flat and I just didn't want to put out that footage. But I think it actually works for this video, just speaking on the very real experience that other artists can relate to. When you're gonna have periods of time where just like every time you sit down to paint, you're disappointed. And it is what it is. With my most recent paintings, I've switched up the way I go about mixing colors, particularly skin colors. And this one here, this portrait was just not it. I made her look like the crypt keeper, just lifeless and dull. But one thing I learned is I actually really like adding unexpected colors to my skin tones. But with this portrait, I overdid the color because, once again, I've managed to make her look like the living dead. The same thing with this portrait here. I was struggling with the skin tone. It was just overdone, and I'm trying to achieve some vibrancy in the skin so the portraits look alive. Too many brush strokes cause the paint to blend into each other and get dull and a bit muddy, which is what was happening here. Just showing up the following day, that is a success in itself. And that's kind of what I continued to have to tell myself that. I just created a portrait that I'm really proud of. Eventually, like I didn't know when I was going to see the light, but I eventually created a piece that I'm like, okay, it was well worth it. All the other pieces were worth the pain that I had to experience in order to get to this portrait that I'm proud of now. I found a way to mix lighter skin tones without them looking chalky and dull, which can happen when you lighten colors with titanium white paint. So I am witnessing some progress on this particular piece to the next. And also, I was able to visit my friend in Florida in March, and then a few weeks later I went to Greece and Turkey. And a lot of time was spent traveling, between 1 and 2 months. And I wasn't as intentional with creating art. So something that I'm really trying to work on is creating art in the most inopportune times. Like, it doesn't have to be great. I learned that over the last few months. Like, things are inevitably just not going to be good sometimes, but that's not to say that you shouldn't sit down and create anyway. And so that's really what I'm working on. I'm working on making things even when my mind and or body doesn't feel totally prepared. I am practicing that even with this video. Like, I'm really unprepared with what I'm going to say, and I feel like I'm just rambling. That's why I just love YouTube as a space. I love art and creativity because it's like you can just try things, and if it's not good, it's not good. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna move on and try again. So the fact that I'm just kind of sitting down, no plan with this video, is the same way that I want to approach art. Sit down, no plan, no expectations, and see what happens. I think when I hold and cling too closely to an expectation, things don't organically branch off into new discoveries. I don't really allow that to happen. I kind of stifle that growth. So I'm just here putting those thoughts out here. This was a super quick video. Thanks for tuning in. I'm wrapping it up already. I didn't want this to be like, over the top long. I just wanted to let you know I've been making bad art and I am learning to lean in and let go. I think that should be the title of the video, leaning in and letting go. Maybe not. Catch you on the next one.